Hey, Kenny, Darla. Happy wonderful Wednesday. How's everybody doing? See everybody that comes in. Can you hear me okay? Riri, hey Riri, it's been a few days. G, Kim, Muffy, Zane, Lori. How you doing, Darla? Can y'all hear me okay? Let me turn my microphone this away a little bit. Thank you. Hi, Teresa. Happy hump day. Oh, you're welcome. I hope you liked it. Sammy, hello. Hiya. Sammy got her little wedding confetti that I sent her. She messaged me that she got it. I'm glad that it made it over there. Hi, Terry. Let's see. Been lurking. Okay, well, good. Let me turn my fan because otherwise my voice is going to sound like I'm talking into the fan. Get my voice going here. I got ice water and hot coffee, so I got to get my voice rolling. Hi, Zeely. Yep, coloring today. I hope that's all right. I am going to take a minute though to on Monday we did these little swatches of the different pastes and things. Sorry, guys. I want to test them with my Jane things. Jane, what do you call it? Color sticks, real quick, because they weren't dry enough to test on Monday. So I want to test those. And hi, Kenny. Yeah, I want to count. I haven't done anything out of the book yet. Sorry, guys. Let me drink some hot coffee here. I sleep with a fan on my face all night, so it makes me a little stopped up in the morning. So let's see. Melinda, Doris. Hi, Doris. Welcome. Good to see you, Zeely. Working and lurking is good. We love our lurkers. Anybody else I miss? Karina. Hi, Karina. Said hi to Zane. Zane changed her name from Nashwa to Zane. Let's see. Who else? Little sister Cheryl. Hi. How you doing? I went to your channel not too long ago. I got to get back over to your channel, little sister. Let's see. Hey, Hut. Yes, color pencils, Hut. Yep. These actually, I thought we would start. Now, I can't guarantee that we'll do everything with watercolor pencils, but these are watercolor pencils. So I've got my Prisma for, they're dry. They're not, they won't activate. And then I got the watercolor pencils. So I thought we'd play with both. I have a page picked out in my Kerby book. So hi, Louise. How you doing? Jessica. Happy hump day to you too, Louise. Franna, Fritchie. I know I'm probably missing people coming in. If y'all are just joining us for the first time or watching the recording, I always spend a few minutes. I come on early to spend a few minutes saying good morning to people. Hi, sister woman, Jonna, preppy, crafty girl. I'm actually having coffee and doing my art with you. Ah, yeah, good. Well, here, we'll have a, I don't know, instead of having a morning cup of coffee together, we'll have a morning crayon sniff together. Jonna sent me these years ago. She knows I love the smell of Crayola crayons. So she sent me a travel emergency sniff box. Does anybody else love the smell? Still smells. Does anybody else love the smell of crayons? I love that little box. And so what have you been up to, Jonna? Have you got any new kits? If I'm going to do this morning, if you're here right now and you have an Etsy shop, raise your hand, and or put the name, both. Put the name of your shop next to, because you can't put direct links. So like Preppy Crafty Girl, that is the name of her shop. So if you have an Etsy shop, raise your hand. Put your name next to it, like Sandra. Is that the name of your shop? Put the name of your shop. Oh, you just like you like the smell of crayon. Sorry. I love the smell of magazines too, Riri. If we get in the car after going to the bookstore, which by the way, I think I'm going this coming Sunday to the Barnes and Noble. Anyway, I always make Hubster sniff the magazines while he's dry. Well, I don't hide his face, but because I hold it up and say, sniff this one. This one smells so good. Yeah, so I do like the smell of magazines. I love the smell of magazines in the morning. Some of y'all will get that. Let's see. We love the smell because does it count if I just like to shop? Melinda, well, then put one of your favorite shops in there, Melinda. Who do you like to shop at on Etsy, Melinda? Preppy Crafty. I have 2 new kits, and one of the kits I did have videos. Do you still have your faith kit class and kit, or is that already gone? I'm sure that one's probably gone, isn't it, Sister Woman? I would like to maybe do that one. Do you still have any faith kits with the videos left, Sister Woman? Like, I have time to do another project. But I do love your kits. Oh, if you weren't here Monday, Preppy Crafty Girl, Jonna, I was on Monday and Jane Davenport came in. And so I showed her the book that I made of her books and your papers. My Jane Jonna junk journal. She thought it was cool. Let's see. Sandra likes the smell of new dolls, books and magazines. Molly, hi Molly. Yeah. You like that, Kenny? Hi Jessica. Old books. Not so much on the old books. I love old bookstores. I love bookstores of any kind. I love old bookstores. I don't really love the smell of old books. I like the smell of new books and leather. Yeah. Let's see. I've been helping a friend get her house staged for sale. Okay. I'm working on new faith kit. Okay. Oh, that'll be fun. Let me let me be the first one in on that one, Jonna. I want in on one of your faith kits. Let's see. Oh, you just finished watching it? Okay. Hi, Scrap Girl 12. Who's talking about time to do them? Riri, I know, right? Exactly. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Hi, Dennis. You're saying, oh, hey, Dennis. Hi. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be back, Riri. They'll be back. Play-Doh. That's a very distinct smell, isn't it, Kim? Play-Doh is a distinct smell. Hi, Jade. Hi, Julie. Happy wonderful Wednesday to you too. Let's see. Did I say hi to Ray and Riri? I get them confused sometimes. Good morning, Ray. Let's see. Yeah, we're just talking. If you guys want to put in one of your favorite, I won't say your very favorite because then someone's feelings might get hurt. But put in one of your favorite, or I know what, put in the last shop that last Etsy shop you shopped at. You can't put links, but you can put the name because we'll just know. If it's an Etsy shop, you can either put your Etsy shop, like Preppy Crafty Girl, that is the name of her shop, or put the name of your favorite shop so we can all go shop. Enable us, people. I'm so bad. Hi, Janet. We're talking about our favorite Etsy shops. Now, Xandra's not on Etsy. I don't think Xandra's on Etsy. She has her own shop. So Scraps to Beauty, Xandra, her shop is Paint and Paper Studio. And if you want like quick turnaround on your order And she sells out quick though, guys. When she posts that she's got something new, you better grab it when you see it because she sells out quick. But Paint and Paper Studios, that is a Zandra. Yeah. So let's see. Shannon Green, Riri said Shannon Green at Etsy. I probably will miss calling them out. I've not done a full-on steampunk journal. I've done steampunk pages, Kim, but I haven't done a journal. Let's see. Danny Girl is calling out KJ Designs by Karen. I know I'm going to miss some, guys. So if you're listening to this, go back and look at the list of things people are mentioning. Hi, Nanamo. Let's see. Zeely said Modern Coloring, aka Jennifer Zimmerman, has PDF coloring pages. Okay. Thanks, Nanamo, for the mod salute. I know we love our mods. Janet says her favorite is Z, the Paint and Paper Studio. Yeah, the best ever. She is. But I'll tell you, if you don't grab stuff out of Zandra's right away, that stuff goes quick. Let's see. I'm looking to see who else is mentioning some shops. Mention your shop or one of your favorites. We like to, people just coming into the channel just to spam and tell us, oh, come follow me or go buy at my shop. But, if you're here a few times, we don't mind you sharing. We don't mind sharing at all. And I call out channels. I call out shops. It's okay. Other people that teach classes. It doesn't bother me that I'm not the only channel on YouTube. It's fine. I don't mind calling out people. Let's see. Oh, hi, Ann. Hi, Ann. Nana Mo's Ann. Hi. Muffy Kate said Debbie Epps. Debbie Epps, yeah. And Debbie Epps also has a channel. The Rusty Peacock is Rosemary Morris. I think I bought something from her once, Janice. Is Rosemary Morris the one that has those different kits every month? If that's the same person I'm thinking of. Let's see. Fritchie, I don't even know how to shop online store. It's not hard, Fritchie. It's not hard. If you have a credit card or PayPal, you're in. You're in. Let's see who else. Hi, Eileen, ETEE, aka ETEE. I love saying that. Eileen, aka ETEE, and Eileen the Enabler Elf. What's one of your favorite shops, Eileen? She shops everywhere. Eileen shops everywhere. We already mentioned Zandra. Who else do you like, Eileen? Let's see. Yeah, she is up early. Oh, thanks, Nanette. We try to keep it a safe place. Yeah, we try to keep, I can talk anything, politics, religion. I can talk all that, but not here. This place is a place kind of like Barb, a no drama zone. We can talk drama. There's so many places to talk drama, so we keep it drama free as much as we can. We try to, people. Let's see. Eileen says her favorite Etsy shop is Nikki at Disorganized Crafter. I don't think I've ever been to her shop. Let me write that down. Let me get a pen. Nikki at Disorganized Crafter. Okay, thanks, Eileen. Disorganized Crafter. Is that on Etsy? Is that on Etsy or is that her own shop, Eileen? Well, Joggles is not one of our peeps. Eileen, you're so funny. Yeah, Melinda says she browses everywhere. Hi, 3G. Hi, CB. Artful Dabbler Tori. Okay, I wrote it down, Eileen. I'll go check her out. Yeah, this is a chill channel. Thank you, Kat D. Yes, and good morning, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. John is talking to Lori. And hi, Lori, if I miss saying hi to you. She's on Etsy. Okay, I'm going to write that down, Etsy. And I miss having she has a YouTube channel at Etsy. There's a girl that does, she sent beautiful Asian coloring books from Korea, but I think she's not doing it right now. But she has, if you want beautiful Asian color books, I can't think of her name right now. I know one of y'all will know. I miss having those available. Let's see. Riri goes, great, another enablement. Thanks, Kim. Okay, disorganized crafter. People are recommending. Cinnamon. I don't think I know that either. Is that a person? Is that a person on Etsy, Jade? Cinnamon? I'm writing it down. Yeah, I have at least one of her coloring books, Muffy. Is that on an Etsy shop? Is she still, because I know she came out with the second one or a redoing of her first one. I can't remember. I have her first one. Let's see. You don't like the paper, Kenny? I don't remember what the paper is like in her books. I mean, she's is she not in UK? Where is she? Not Ireland? No, Scotland. Where is she from? I forget. She's not in UK. Netherlands. Where is Sakuum? I can't even pronounce it. Sakuma. What country is she in? Okay, Jade said cinnamon tea. Let's see. It's not good for pencils. Okay, I don't know what I've tried in her book. I don't have it right at hand. I could dig it out, but I'm reading chat. So, but yeah, I'm looking on my shelf. I don't know that I could pick the book off the shelf. I think it has a spiral bound, and it's taller. So, because it's like that A4, 5, whatever it is. It's a different size paper. Let's see. Nanamo says loves Dawn and Matt Davidson art. Okay, I'll write that down. Haven't heard of that one either. Dawn and Matt. I'm just trying to get all these Etsy shops written down. Dawn and Matt Davidson art. Davidson art. Kenny goes, yes, I love them. Yeah, see, I'm finding some new people too. Hi, Faithful Mess. And Faithful Mess has an Etsy shop. So follow Faithful Mess. Here comes the cats. Yeah, we're talking Etsy shops we like or would recommend or shouting out. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's Dawn Davidson. Her hubby sells her art on her account. Okay. Dawn Davidson. Okay. I'm going to make that a little square around there. Okay. So we're going to color today. I'm going to start. Let's see. One of the mods should allow 3G's comment there. There it goes. I'm going to color in Kerby's book today. Hi, Sam. Hiya. I was telling the girls earlier, Sammy, that you got your confetti, your wedding confetti. Well, I couldn't wait to send that to you. I'm glad it made it there. Let's see who else. Hi, Devin Rex. We're shouting out right now. We're shouting out Etsy shops. Or shops like Xandra's not an Etsy, but we love our Xandra. Here come the cats. Just can't have them come by the cords. Let's see. Christine Karen, Karron, does beautiful female fairies. Is like dolls, Debbie the Doodler, like dolls or like color book pages. Hi, Nancy. Happy hump day. Hi, Tanya. Who else? Oh, you're welcome, Sammy. I know you're excited about your upcoming wedding. Let's see. Jennifer Zimmerman, Kat D said, does beautiful art. Just kind of reading chat and saying good morning. If you're new here, or if you're watching the recording, I spend some time in the morning before we do the projects, and I am here reading chat and saying good morning, shouting people out. Hi, Sylvia. Drinking hot coffee, get my voice going. Trying to get my voice going here. Manja Gates. Sorry, guys. Manja, Monja Gates. I'm not sure who that is, Kat D. I don't think I've heard of her either. What does she do? What kind of, do color books, dolls, art, journaling supplies? Today's Cass's birthday. Oh, okay, well, if she comes in, y'all tell Kathy Arbor, Cass, Kathy, happy birthday if y'all see her come in. Let's see. Yeah, we're shouting out Etsy sellers, Etsy shops. We're just shouting them out. People we like to shop from. Let's see. Well, I haven't seen anybody else come in new so far. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up, people. Thumbs up, people. Thumbs up. Thank you. Let's see. Set of art coloring. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do have the set of art coloring books, Zeely. I did not know that was Manja. Yeah, the set of art coloring book. It is awesome. They're individual pages. No, baby, gotta stay over there. Stay over there. Don't get in the cords. Oh, my goodness. The old design shop is good for vintage pictures and art. Oh, I'll write that down. The old design shop. Writing. Shop from my stash too. Like your own stash, Eileen, or is that the name of a shop? Shop from my stash. That would be a good name for a store. You need to open one, Eileen. Oh my gosh. I got to keep the cat from going any farther this way. Got to stay over that way, baby. Stay over there. I'm pushing her over so she doesn't. I don't want her in the. Okay, let's get down. You're trying to get to the cords now. The cords are a no-no. Your own stash. Yeah, you can open. That would be shop from my stash. That would be a good name for a shop, Eileen. Do de-stashes, Let's see. Color and Chat said Wendy Stevens, digital art prints. Stevens is with a PH. Stephens. Digital art prints. She loves her style. So, okay, guys. Well, we're going to start with, I got my Arteza watercolor pencils out, and I have other watercolor pencils in here too. I don't know if these, I think these are, these Fine Touch. Who does these? I even forget it does a Fine Touch. I guess they're Fine Touch. Watercolor pencils, and then my Arteza watercolor pencils. So I thought we would start with watercolor pencils. Oh, and I bought this cord here to do, I'm going to do some of my, the little inserts, the traveler's inserts. I've got, you saw me deconstruct like 15 stacks of paper and make traveler notebook inserts. I got this twine to tie them together, to tie the pages together. So I'm going to be doing that. And those, I'm either going to maybe sell them $5 or, give them in my thank yous or whatever. Oh, but before we do this, and I did pick the page we're going to do is this cactus. That is a hedgehog, right? Sammy, is that a hedgehog? Oh my gosh. Yeah, y'all go ahead and put the names of the shops in. That's and everybody can go back and read them. Don't forget, guys, after the video's over, because there's 3 or 4 hours, sometimes it can take a few hours. Like Monday's stream took 3 or 4 hours for the chat to pop up. So when we do these long streams, it sometimes can take an hour, 2, 3 or 4 to full, where you get the whole 3 to 4 hours and the chat. So if you come back immediately after the show's over, the chat's not going to be there. It's going to take a couple hours for the chat to pop back, to pop up, to render in YouTube. So I think that's a hedgehog. So I think that's what we're going to do, this cat hedgehog. Have you done this one yet, Sammy? I don't want to do the same one Sammy's doing. I know she was working on the little monkey this week. Sammy, if y'all want to, Sammy is oh my gosh, you want to see colorist, go watch Sammy. Let's get her exact name here. Color and Chat with Sammy, and it's with the U. She's in the UK, so her name is with the color with the U. But she was working on, and I only saw I didn't see if she finished it, but she was working on, let me find it. Where is it? Where is the little guy here? Where is it? I know it's in this book. Where is he, Sammy? Why can't I find the little monkey? Let me flip again. Why can't I find it? I know it's in this book, isn't it, Sammy? Is it in this book? This one. There it is. Sammy's working on this one. So if you want to see this one done, go check out Color and Chat with Sammy. You haven't finished it yet? Okay. It's looking really good. So this one is not complete yet. I'm still working on the details of this one. I'm working on the details of this one. I'm still working on this one. I got the dinosaur done, but I haven't finished the background yet. The only one I've really completed is this one. I've completed this one. So, yeah. And there's videos on them and how I do the painty backgrounds and how I use Posca and overlay the Posca and stuff like that. But today we are going to work on this hedgehog, and I'll zoom in more. Is your pencil case by, yes, BT Sky. I think that's what it's called, Picola. Yes, BT Sky or Bitsky, BTSKY. Yes, that's what the pencil case is from. And so anyway, I've got 2 different sets of watercolor pencils in here. I'm going to use the Arteza ones. And then we'll see if we need to shade more with Prisma, because I might need a dry pencil to do more shading. Let's see. But before we do that, let's take a quick minute. Let's take a quick minute to do this. And I do have my book pulled out to do this today. Hopefully we'll remember. I always set it right in front of me, but then time runs out and we go, okay, see you later. And I forget to read out of our 1001 Ways to Be Creative every week. I'm trying to read out of that every week. Okay, so Monday, we did these little card swatches from the different Finnabair, Prima Finnabair different pastes. And so I've got them all labeled here. This is the 3D Gloss Gel Transparent, Heavy Gesso Black, Soft Gloss Gel Transparent, Heavy Gesso White, Texture Paste White Sand, and it is sandy. And the Modeling Paste Opaque Matte. And what I wanted to do last Monday was, let's see, hey, welcome. Benny, welcome anybody coming in. Don't forget, put it in caps if you're talking to me, and I still might miss you. I'm not trying to ignore you, but I do have to look away to do some work. So I wanted to test Jane's color sticks on them, but it takes a while for them to dry, so they weren't dry on Monday. So let's move that. So this is a glare or a shadow. So I want to test. I'll use these as samples to, something to make the texture show. So I'm going to get a baby wipe, and I'm going to scribble some color on these, and then we'll see what happens. We're going to see what happens with each of these. Yeah, you're excited to see the Arteza? You not like you need more watercolor? Janet. Okay, let's use this pretty teal color here. All right, so modeling paste opaque matte. Okay, so I'm going to put some on here. Let's go about halfway up because we might want to put some other kind of something besides the Jane up, halfway. We'll see. All right, so now I'm going to take the baby wipe and blend it in. Let's see what happens. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go the whole way here. I'll just make more cards if I need to. Okay, so now you can see the paper with nothing on it and the modeling paste matte. So can you see the design? Yeah, you can see the design. Now, I'm sure after your color sets up some, you could add more. So here you can see, this is just watercolor paper. So there's, just so you can see the mediums, right? We're going to check them out. We're going to check them out. All right, so that's the modeling paste opaque. And again, you can see the design in there. So the modeling paste is going to give you height. Okay, here's the sand. I'm going to use the same color on all of them because I think that will be a good test because different colors might look different, All right, so this is the sand. Oh, they need more stuff. And it's very textury. I mean, it's like sand. And the product is like sticking to the sand. Okay, so there's it with the sand. So you can see that sand really stands. I mean, and you can feel it, guys. That sand, it feels just like sand. Yes, they are water-soluble Picola. And Jane said they sit up more and more as time goes on. But you can reactivate them. Okay, let's see. Heavy gesso white. And I'm rubbing it in pretty hard here. I'm rubbing it in so you can see. I don't know if this is a good test of anything or not, but I wanted to see what would happen. Okay. And you can also do, stencils over it and stuff. Okay. Soft gloss gel transparent. Now, I don't even know if this is going to stick to this because it's shiny. This is very shiny. Okay, it's kind of fitting. It's going into the grooves there where I made some little indents. So there's what it looks like. And that's still shiny. That is shiny gloss gel. Okay. And then heavy gesso black. Let's just go ahead and go over it just to have the color around it. I don't expect it to stick to it. And then the 3D gloss gel transparent. So just so you can see when you go over it. So think of it this way too. Think of it if you're using these products on this is watercolor, but look at as negative space. So look at how it reacts on just the plain paper compared to what it does. See how shiny that's still high gloss. You just ordered the colored pencil case from Amazon. I ordered them. Okay, Richie. So anyway, like I said, I've never in practice, I've never used the 3D gloss gel or the soft gloss gel transparent or the texture paste white sand or the model. Well, I've used modeling paste, just not necessarily this brand. And of course, I've used gesso, black and white gesso. So anyway, I wanted to, maybe after these dry, we can do some other product tests on top of those to see what happens. But I wanted to at least, because I didn't get to finish this on Monday. I didn't get to finish that on Monday. So, okay, so let's move that to the side. Let me clean off my hands now with the fresh, the babies are bringing me all their toys. They're bringing me all their toys. When I get done streaming, I've got a whole bunch of cat toys around my feet. Let's see. It would be cool to see the transparent gel over something colored and then put color over it. Yeah. Well, it depends on if it would just be a resist, Devin. Some of these look like they would just be a resist. Or I just don't want any loose product there, so I can put my color book down. Let's see, but we'll do some more tests with those later. Okay, let me move my little stack of Etsy shop list. What else? Is there anything else going on? Oh, let me move my products there to the side so I have room. Okay, so we're going to work on this hedgehog. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little more. And I might end up, like I said, I'm going to start with watercolor pencils, but we might end up, after it dries, we might need to add, I'm going to go ahead and try to move the spine here. We're going to try to do as much as we can with the watercolor pencils, but then I might end up adding Prismacolor dry pencils on top. Oh, good, Scrap Girl. Get ideas, people, get ideas. Okay, so I have my Arteza color pencils here, and I've tested them, swatched them, but I haven't really used them. These start another brand here. These are the fine. Are these the Master's Touch ones? I think that's what these are. The Fine Touch. I think these are the Hobby Lobby brands. That's the Hobby Lobby brand ones there and here. These kind of, they're like, not oblong, but hexagon kind of. You can see they're not round. These are the Arteza ones. So I'm really going to get into the greens here. So these, and these purples right here are the Arteza. So I'm going to kind of put the green ones here because I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start with the green ones in the cactus. Now, the background, I don't know, you know me, I might end up painting the background black and throwing a bucket of stars on it. We don't know. So, but I'm going to start with doing, and I think I might need to click in one more. Okay, baby, you're going to have to get off. Mama's table. I see you brought me a toy. Thank you so much. Oh, a huggy. I know. I see you brought me a toy. You want me to throw your toy? All right. There you go. All righty. They like being with me, I'll tell you. And I don't mind them on my table. They just try to get over to the cords, and we don't want to get unplugged. All right. So let's see where I want to start. Is this good enough for right now, guys? Are we zoomed in enough for right now? We can zoom in more, but I'm thinking this may be good to start. Now let me know. Let me know if we want to zoom in more. Okay, so I'm going to start by just let me get a water brush. That's what we're going to start with now. With your watercolor pencils. With your watercolor pencils, you can do different things, just like you can with like the Neo Color too. Let's just go to a back. I don't want to show any of the answers to the hidden items. Here, let's go here. Let's just go here for a minute. So let me just get a nice olive green. Let's get it. I like this one. Okay. So you can do a couple things with watercolor pencils. Okay, thanks. Good. Okay, thanks, guys. All right, so I'm going to just put some pencil down, and then I'm going to go with some water. Let's make sure my water, this is a water brush. That's where this is too big. I need a smaller, hang on. I got to dig me out a water brush. I want one that's small. This one has still got some, no, can't get up here, baby. No. All right, let me clean this one off. Okay. I want to make sure it's stained. It's not, I don't think there's any blue on there, but you can do this. Now, here's the thing about using water in your color books. You can't oversaturate. You don't want to oversaturate your paper because it's not the it's not the color that goes through, it's the water. So you don't want to over water, okay? Some papers are going to take it better than others. I can't remember which one. I think it's Serene. Maybe I don't remember. But anyway, one of them does not take water well at all. So you have to kind of test and play. So we're going to see. Now you can do that, or you can pull it off the tip. You can pull it off the tip like this. Okay. The other thing you can do, and I don't have something ready here. Hang on. The other thing you can do with watercolor pencils is you can dip them in the water and get real pigment to it. See? So you can do that. And then, of course, you can always go in and lighten it up some. But the more you scrub it, you're going to have to be careful about scrubbing to try to get the pencil marks to move. You're going to have to be careful about that because you're going to oversaturate your paper. Now, I don't mind if my papers warp a little bit, my pages. I don't mind that, but you don't want it to go through. You don't want it to go through. Okay? So you can just dip it in water. And I'm going to try to maybe do a little bit of each, when we're working on this. But you have to keep dipping, and you're going to have to keep sharpening because you're wearing down your pencil pretty quick when you do it this way. Okay? All right, let's see. Never thought about dipping them. Yeah. And you can do the same thing with your Neo Color 2s. You can dip them in water, and then you get real pigmented. But again, once you do that, it's kind of like in the paper, right? It's kind of in the paper. So if you want to move this around, you're going to have to add quite a bit of water to move it. And the more you do this, the more you're going to pill. You're going to pill your paper doing that. So you have to be careful about that. So, okay. So let's go back over. Let me put something there because I don't want it's wet. All right. So now we're going to come back over here on our cactus. All right, so I might try a couple different things and see what I'm liking. Okay, and I've got an olive green. Let's pick out about 3 or 4 different greens here. I'm looking at maybe one brighter green, maybe a brighter green. So we'll go with these greens for the cactus. I don't know, 3 or 4 different kinds in there. Okay, so let me get my sharpeners ready. Get a little tray to sharpen on. Is it a mole? Is this a mole or a hedgehog? What is this one, guys? Y'all tell me. Hi, Terry Snow again. Yeah, is this a mole or a hedgehog? It might be a mole. Doesn't that look? I think it might be a mole. I don't know what. Yeah, because a hedgehog doesn't have one of these kind of noses, does it? Is this a mole or a shrew? I don't know. Which one is this? Yeah, I know it's expensive in Oz, Cat. Well, maybe Arteza will start coming to Oz. They need to. It's an enchinda. A chinda? Is that like a mole? All right, everybody's saying it's an enchinda. Okay, let me write that down. Enchinda. This is how they're spelling it. Echidna. Echidna. Am I saying it right? Oh, it's an echidna is how you say it. Okay, let me write down the phonetics. Echidna. Okay. Echidna. All right. Is it kind of like a mole? So it makes it a vole? Oh my gosh. Okay, is it an Australian? Okay, it's an Oz. Okay, Oz. Okay. There we go. Thank you. And I'll put that, let me put that in the book here because someone will ask later. I'm going to put mole in quotes just so I know which page it's from. It's a spiny anteater. Okay, that's what Picola said. Google says it's a spiny anteater. I'm going to have to draw some of those in my big sketchbook, right? I'll have to draw some of those. All right, so let me, where's my little tray here to sharpen on top of? I have a Kleenex here to clean off my brush as I go. A Kleenex is the best thing to clean your water brush as you go. And let's see, I don't want to lose the little cap. Let's see, let's put that, let's just put it there. Okay, so let me go ahead and sharpen. I'm going to sharpen these watercolor pencils, and I'm going to do it a couple different ways. Let's start with this dark one. I'm going to do it a couple different ways. I want to color in, maybe I do need to zoom in a little bit more. It's like a hedgehog, it's an insect eater. I can zoom in, but then I'm going to have to be careful not to do something off the page because it's easy to move the book off the camera. Likes to eat ants. Totes right there, so cute. Never heard of them. I thought it was a hedgehog too, Nanamo, until I thought about its nose. All right, so let's see. Let's do it a couple different ways. Let's start with these big. I know there's a name for these cactus if y'all want to say what they are. All right, so I'm going to start by first, let's just start with one shaded on one side here with one color, and then with the lighter color on the other side. Let's just see how we'll blend them. Now it's gonna be very subtle because it's small, right? It's gonna be you know, this is a small little cactus. I don't know how much we're going to be able to see a real blend. Might have to go one darker with maybe a brown. Or do I want a dark green? Let's see. This one's jade. Do I want that dark of that shade of green? I'm looking at my greens here. Maybe the moss green. Okay, so let's do that instead. So let's do the moss green and the, let me tell you the name of this one. The moss green and the pear. Okay, now I've already got some of the coyote in there, but I'm gonna put the moss green, the darker. Whoops, don't push too hard there. Just snap the point. All right, so I'm going to put the moss shadow here. And let's kind of see where the arms of this, is this a pear? Is this a prickly pear? What's this one? I should know. I grew up in Texas, but can't remember the names of the cacti. So I'm going to do a little shading on this one here. And I think that's arms, the back one there. All right. Let's do that. And now I'm going to put in the pear. This is a tiny little space. You know, you're not going to probably see a lot of detail, but I wanted to play with these pencils because we just don't do it. And let's see, probably down in here. You're going to have to keep sharpening them. All right, so, you know, you can just shade like this. The color one. Oh, you colored this one, Molly? Oh, I'll have to go look. All right, so now I'm going to just take my water brush and let's see. Is this water brush going to be, it might be too flimsy. I need to put a little more pressure on it, I think. Let's see. I might have to just use water, like a regular, what do you call it? A regular paintbrush. Because I want it to move, and I don't want to, here's my thing. I don't want to keep scrub to get it to move because this brush is so flexible. I might need a more a stiffer brush to like grab that pigment. To grab the pigment, I might need a stiffer brush. Hang on, let me look over here a minute. Because it's so tiny. The area I'm using is so tiny that see, is that one going to be okay? This little angle brush. I got a little, my little bit of water here. I can just spray some more in here just to pick up some water. Let's see if this works better than a water brush, because I want a stiffer brush that's going to move the pigment without having to rub it a whole bunch of times. So you just got to kind of test and see what works. And different color pencils are going to be different as well. Okay, so I'm just trying to kind of blend that, but I don't, if you want to add more pigment or do more blending, you're going to have to let this dry. You're going to let it dry and go back in with another layer. Because with this paper, now I don't think it's going to go through. It's not going through. This is pretty thick. This is pretty thick paper. But if you keep scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, it's going to pill your paper. That means it's going to pick up the fibers. It's going to pick up the fibers of your paper, and you're going to see little pills of paper, right? Level of detail that inspired me to create my own drawing diary on my channel. Oh, okay, Mohammed. Without the precision level detail part. I don't know what that means. You don't have this kind of detail? Oh, you're welcome. I'll go check out your channel later. Okay, so let's see. I will give you a hint if you're trying to do YouTube channels. Give yourself a face. Don't have don't just have the little purple guy with the head that no avatar. Give yourself an avatar. Give yourself an avatar if you want to have a good channel. Nobody takes you serious as a YouTuber if you don't even have an avatar face. Okay, just a little tip. Just a little tip. Oh, you change your picture? Put a face. Give yourself a face. Okay, so now I'm going to take the same two colors and I'm going to try to do the dipping. See, this is what happens when you're real close up. You can't see what I'm doing. All right, so now let's do the same thing, the same colors, but let's do, let me find here, this one. But I'm going to add it with a wet pencil to see if it pigments more. And then this way I'll be doing more blending. I'll be actually blending with the pencil itself rather than a watercolor brush. This might work better for such a tiny area because it is small. It is a small area, right? And you're probably going to have to keep sharpening because this does wear down the tip pretty quick. All right, now I'm going to take the color that the pear color, the light color. And I'm just trying to decide which is easier in these little areas. I don't have as much control of the blend when they're both wet like this. They're kind of just, it is what it is. Whereas with this one, I'm able to do a little bit more control with it, I think. All right, so now I've got to let that dry because I know I want it darker on the dark side there. But you got to let it dry. Okay. Everybody, you got to keep that dry. All right, so let's dry that and then see if I can add more with the color, with the water pencils. Or am I going to have to go in there with Prisma? Okay, did I get that dry? Yeah. All right, so now let's go back. Let me sharpen that because it's broke down pretty well. Let's get a sharp tip in there. And let's see. Let's go back in there. See, I think I'm going to need to go in there again. I'm going to have to dip it, I think. It's kind of fun to do it. I mean, I'm enjoying the feel of doing this, with the wet pencil. I don't know that that's making much difference, though. I don't know that that's making too much. I don't know, a little bit when I look in camera. Okay. So we'll play with it for a while, see where it goes. It's very, these are tiny. Look how, it's the size of a pencil, right? I'm zoomed in so it looks bigger than it actually is. It's very little space. Let's see. Preppy having a big day today. I'm going to pick out my flooring. Oh, yay. Okay, bye, sister woman. I know you've already doing your house forever. Okay, pick out a good one. All right. Thanks. Bye. All right. So let's see. Let's go over here and see if I can add a little bit more dark in here. Just trying to keep the tip wet to lay down as much pigment as we can in one go here. All right, so there we go. I think that looks kind of good. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about the method here? I need a little shadow around those little arms. I mean, I'm liking it, but I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't feel as I don't want to say as good, but it doesn't feel as intuitive for me as a dry Prismacolor pencil does. Okay. It doesn't feel as, it just doesn't feel as intuitive. You know, I just do, I feel it. I feel it when I'm using Prisma. I know what I want to do real quick is I want to maybe do the behind. Let me add a little more water here. I want to add a little bit of these mountain colors in the back just to distinguish it from so I can tell where the cactus is and the mountain is. And I want to kind of do that maybe in kind of a yellow ochre color to start with, just to get a base. So let's see, do I want to just color it in and then go in and add water to it? Let's do a little bit of both. Okay. So I just want to kind of find the hills behind here. There's some right there too. It's kind of already kind of darkened in. I just want to let's just mark in the hills back here in a color, and then probably go in there with some like sienna, like red rock kind of thing. But I just want to find them first. And that might be a part of a cactus right there. All right, so let's see. You know, this is tiny business here. I'm trying to hold my pencil far enough back. I hope I'm not putting a shadow on there. Do I need to lighten up, or are we good? How's the color and the lighting? Do I need to brighten it up some, or are we good? It's hard to tell for me. No, I can brighten it up some there. Hi, Gail. Susie, I know I'm probably missing people coming in. Thanks, everybody. While some are going shopping, I'm going, okay, night, cat. Sleep well. Okay, sleep well. All right, I'm trying to kind of concentrate here. And I'm trying to hold the pencil back far enough so that I'm not blocking the page. Just to put some color down. And I don't know if it looks like you don't need color, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this color down, and then I'm going to add some like sienna color. I'm trying to find, that looks like maybe some other part. This more is the far away hills here. I'm trying to find those first. This one, well, I don't know. Let's just go ahead and define it. Define what's not cactus. That might be, but here's some more rocks. More rocks. And again, we can make some of these more gray. The closer ones, the farther ones, we can make more sienna. I just want to find the rocks. Find the ground. So I can distinguish it from the cactus. I don't want to bring it down too far because that's not going to be how it would be. Here's some more rock right here. There. Kerby has a lot of detail, you know. All right, so I think I kind of found most of it. Over here. Does that help distinguish where some of the background is? Put it in caps if you're talking to me, guys. When I glance over, I see if you're talking to me. Now it has those little flowers on 'em. I think I'm going to want those to be red. I don't know that they're all that way, but just to make that pop, the little flowers on the cactus, I might make those nice bright red. All right, so now what I want to do is get a sienna color, and I want to kind of, let's go back in here. Now I'm going to add water here in a minute, or I could even try to dip. Let's try to dip in some shadows here. It does have a kind of a cool feel with using the tip wet. But you do have to keep, I mean, it dries pretty quick. I mean, the tip of it will dry out real, you can tell, you can feel it. You can feel when the pencil dries on the tip. Are you using watercolor? Yes, they're Arteza, Julie G. Yeah, they're Arteza watercolor pencils. That they are. They're not sponsoring me or anything. I bought them just to clear that up. I bought them myself. All right. I'm just going to go in here and find some of the shadows, and you could blend it out with the brush if you need to. But this is so small. It's such a tiny little area, you know. But I wanted to play with these today because I don't know that we've done a show with coloring with them. And I'm sure if you're a watercolorist, these might be good for doing detail work. I don't know. I do a little bit of watercolor, but I'm definitely not a watercolorist. But I could see how these could be used as detail in a watercolor. Have you tried painting with number painting with? No, I haven't. I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. Haven't done a painting by number. I did two diamond paintings, and it takes so long. I have so many other things to do. Remember, guys, I do a portrait and pet commissions too off camera. I mean, sometimes I'll do a little bit of work on camera, but I do have that job. And you really don't have time for another thing. But if you know somebody that's doing the paint by numbers, or you can tell us the name of the channel, or who does like diamond painting or any of the other stuff. I don't watch those channels because I just don't have time. I watch so many artists that I don't have time to watch those. Okay, so Julie says Martin Zlama, I think. Zlam, I can't say it. But Julie says lots of practice. Yeah, I don't do that. It's just not that they're, it might be fun, but I just don't have time. Okay, let's see. I'm just, if you see me going over here to the side, I'm just dipping into this water here. And I'm going to have to sharpen my pencil. It's really dulled down now. It does, this does dull your pencil down quickly doing it by the dipping method. It does, see how it's rounded already? So it may use your pencils up kind of quickly doing it this way. I don't know. But I wanted to find that background. Kind of plot it out a little. Okay, so now let's take our brush. I'm going to dip it in water, And I might try to like soften some of this. Let's see how it blends. Again, I don't want to over saturate my paper. It's just so small, it doesn't even really need to be blended out much. You know. It's pretty blended just with what the way I did it. And y'all know I like real high contrast. So after it's all said and done, I probably want to go back in there to darken, make some things even darker with regular pencil to get it nice and dark. Because the thing about using a watercolor pencil is when you add water to it, the pigment spreads, right? So it lightens it up. You know, it lightens it up. Hi, Jerry. All right, so let's go back to the two colors of greens that I'm using on these tall cactus. And again, I think I'll, do I want to keep doing the dipping? Let's see, I'm trying to let y'all see what I'm doing, but is there something else y'all want me to try while I'm doing this with the watercolor pencils? Let me know. I want to try to show y'all different things you can do with different products that we buy. We don't like them just sitting in the studio, not being used. Okay, now I'm going to go to the light pear color. I know it's tiny. Is this helpful? Can y'all see enough? I can zoom in. Y'all let me know what y'all want to see. This needs to be some darker back in here. Just trying to shade it with the pencil. Can you show using a water brush directly to the pencil and pick up some paint? Yeah, yeah. We did a little test in the back doing that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do the next cactus here. All right. So I'm gonna just pull it off the. I'm trying to get enough to. I mean, look how much is coming off on the brush, but it's not wanting to release. It's releasing very lightly. I seem to be picking up a lot with the brush. Look how much comes off. But when I go to apply it, it's very light. No, baby, got to get down or stay over on that side. It's not laying down very dark. Do you know what I mean? You can see it. It's very. Let's try to. Let me clean off the tip here and go to the lighter color. Yeah, look, it's extra light. Can you see how light that is compared? Want a little bit of zoom? Okay. We're gonna lose detail. Okay, baby, you gotta get down now. Gotta get down. We're gonna lose detail, I think, but we'll see. Let's try to autofocus again. Let's see what we can do here. Let me get something to focus on here. We're going to lose some detail by getting this close. Is that better or worse, guys? Now we're zoomed in, like way zoomed in. And that's probably not going to be very clear. Y'all tell me. Do you want it this you want it this zoomed in? It's not as clear. Okay, maybe if I put some pencils in there. It's better? Okay. All right, so here you can see, now I've got to shuffle. I've got to do the shuffle here. You can see where this right here was where I pulled it off of the pencil. It's so very light. It's barely showing up. So I'm not saying that I think that's a good method by doing it like this. You know, I'm not saying that's good. It's if you want a very light application, that may be good, but it's not what I'm wanting to do here. I'm gonna add a little bit more water to my little bucket. All right, so now I'm going to go back with dipping the pencil again. I'm trying to so you can see the difference there. See how much more pigment goes down, or even just coloring it. Let's just color here. Look, just coloring, putting the pigment down with nothing. There's a little bit of water left on there. Just putting the pigment down by itself. But now when I go to add water to this, it's going to lighten it. It's going to move the pigment, and so it's going to be lighter when I add water to it. Because right now I'm not dipping it, I'm just coloring it. If you have any questions, put them in caps. All right, now let's go over here with the pear color. Let's dry it. So here I'm just coloring with no water. And I don't know if something this small is a good way to do an example with watercolor pencils because it's so small. Maybe better to do something bigger. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to move these around. Kind of feather blend. Maybe a little bit back. That needs to be a darker one back there. Just kind of blend them lightly together. So what do y'all think? Hi, Kathy. Happy birthday, Kathy Cass. Happy birthday. Yeah, they are pretty vibrant. Yeah, the colors are pretty vibrant. But the more water you add, you know, it diffuses. It diffuses the pigment. So I'm just trying to go in here and kind of blend out some of the let's go back in here with the brown. Let's see. Maybe I got enough in there. Still need a little tiny bit of brown back in there. Trying to decide which is the dirt and the rock and which is the cactus. So, yeah, some little birdie told us this morning, Kathy Cass, that it was your birthday. So, happy birthday. All right, so I want this to dry. Let me hit it with the heat gun so we can keep moving. Because I'm going to want that much darker. So let's see, this is the coyote green. I think it's a greeny gray. So I want to see if I want to, let's just try it without dipping in water. See, it doesn't want to go over too much darker. That's a little too brown. I want something almost like black green, like dark green. Let's see here. Should I go with jade green? Let's try that. Let me sharpen it a little. I want a real dark green. So let's go with jade green. You can already see the cactus sticking out in the foreground from the rocks. Okay, good, Louise. Thank you. All right, now this is dry, but it's not wanting to go over. It's almost like the paper is at its limit. I mean, I can really push really hard, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the dipping. I'm going to go back to the dipping and see if I can add another layer. Now, see, now it wants to pick up. It wants to pick up the watercolor layer underneath. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm having to be real careful to lay this on top without picking up the color underneath. I can do it as long as the tip stays really wet. I'm going to lay down on top of it. Lay the color down on top of what I've already done. But just to have a dry pencil now and go over this, it's not really wanting to do that. Because I really want something really dark in here. And I'm finding that kind of hard to get. Of course, y'all know me. I don't mind using multiple products. So if I need to get in here with a regular pencil and test it, I really want to see if Prismacolor will go over this water, over the Arteza watercolor. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this little section here. Can y'all see a difference in the greens? Much. I don't know if it's enough for my liking. And again, I might just be doing something so small that it's not a good test because it's so tiny. All right, now I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to go with these two cactus here with a regular pencil. And let's see, I know I can get darker over it. The problem with the watercolor pencils that I'm finding is trying to go more layers on top of these other layers. It wants to pick up the pigment underneath rather than laying down a darker pigment. I mean, you can see it's laid down some. All right, let's dry this and see. I am liking them. It's just that I think it might be a little tiny. All right, let's see. Let me get a nice. Let's see what dark green I want. Try to get the same kind of jade green color that I've been using. All right, so now let's sharpen. Let's see what happens with just a regular Prismacolor. And this is just dark green. All right, so now here we've added that kind of jade. Actually, the Arteza, the jade color is darker than the color I'm getting ready to use. You might not be able to tell on camera, but it is actually a darker color than this color. But I'm going to use this. I might have one darker. This is dark green. Hi, Dale and Joy. Welcome. Anybody else I missed? All right, so now on these two here, I've not done that extra coat of jade. So let's try that over here. Let's see how it goes over. I mean, how it darkens. Yeah, I can already see. I can tell it'll lay down the pigment. The pigment on the dry pigment on top of the watercolor is laying down. I'm not having to fight to get the pigment to lay down. It just goes right. It just goes right on there. Can y'all see that? It just went right down. Where the watercolor pigment on top of watercolor pigment, it wants to fight that. See how I'm seeing I would use these pencils as a base coat for my my regular shading on top. All right, now I'm going to go over here where I laid down. This is where the watercolor dark green is on top. See, I can even get even so much more pigment down dry. I hope y'all are able to see this. So it's kind of like when I use neo colors or a watercolor base, I'm seeing how these watercolor pencils will be a good base. And then do dry pencils on top. Y'all see that? Are y'all able to see how that's kind of working? And then I can always go in here and shade too more on top of the watercolor. I just feel like I have more control, which you really do have more control with the dry pigment than you do with watercolor. But that's true when you're using watercolor at any time. But this is such a small little test, area. So, what's y'all's opinion? It's interesting. Yes, interesting. We are so zooming. When I back out, you're going to really say, "Oh," yeah, because when you back out, those small details really like. So anyway, that's kind of. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get a dark brown pencil for the red brown, like rust red color. Let me see here. Do I want Tuscan red maybe? No, that might be too red. Maybe a sienna. It's Tuscan red too. Let me see if I can find what color brown do I want? All right, well, we'll just go with the dark brown just so we can see when we do the hills. So far, you have I used the fine touch? No, not yet. Just using the Arteza Picola. That's all I've done so far. I didn't know if I wanted to test two products on the same day. All right, so now I'm going in here with just a regular Prismacolor dark brown. Over the top of the Arteza. Some people say Arteza. And I've asked people, how do you say it, Arteza or Arteza? And I hear both, so. See how I got in there with that dark brown? And how it makes the contrast and how it makes it pop. Thank you, Dee Battle. Dee. Welcome. Let's see. All right, so just getting in here with the dark brown. It just, it's just laying down a nice dark pigment on top of the watercolor pencil. Again, how I see that I would use my watercolor pencils in color books would be as a base coat to do regular pencils on top. But I wanted to experiment today with them. I'm never coloring. Don't be ridiculous, Gail. Gail Gonzalez. Now, if I wanted to make these a little more red, I'm wondering how it would go a shade. Like if I took a Tuscan red, yeah. If I could shade over the top of that, yeah. See, it'll go right over the top. It'll go right over the top of the watercolor. Really, just fine. I'm not even having to put any pressure at all for my Prismacolor to go over the top of the watercolor. It's not resisting at all. It just lets me lay it right down. Like just really easy. It's just going right over. So I can see how the watercolor pencils, the Arteza watercolor pencils, will be a nice base if you wanted to use it that way. Because the color pencil, Prismacolor, just goes right over it just fine. No pressure at all here, guys. I just wanted to add a little bit more red to it. So I got the Tuscan red out. Right over the top of that yellow ochre color of the watercolor pencil. So what do y'all think of this experiment? All right, I'm going to back up just a minute for a couple minutes. I'm so zoomed in. I want to see what it looks like. Let's autofocus again. I want to see what it looks like not so zoomed in. All right, let me turn off the autofocus. So can you kind of see what it looks like from a distance? What do y'all think? Let's turn the camera down just a little. There we go. So you can see in actuality what it looks like. Hi, Linda. Hi, thanks, Cindy. Do you think it saves time like some of your other techniques? Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know that it would save time. I don't know. I think one of the benefits of the watercolor pencils in the base technique like this, if I wanted to base coat it, is the smallness of it. That you can get in tight areas with watercolor fairly easily. Like if you wanted to get a lot of different colors in here, it's a lot easier to do it probably with the color pencil, with the watercolor pencil, than it would be, say, unless you're used to using a regular paintbrush. You know how I get in here with a paintbrush and I'll paint with acrylic washes and stuff like that. If you don't feel comfortable using a paintbrush, yeah, if you're not comfortable using a paintbrush on its own, you might feel more comfortable using a watercolor pencil as a base. Same thing for like when you use your Neocolor 2 water soluble crayons with a brush. You're still using a brush. And not everybody's comfortable with the brush. So if you're more comfortable with a pencil as a base, then you could lay down, let's just go ahead and do this big cactus here. So you could just lay down the color. Let's just put a flat base coat here. Okay, you could just put a nice flat base coat because you might feel more comfortable using a pencil rather than pulling a pigment off of a Neocolor 2 or using a brush with watercolor or an acrylic wash, because you have to use a brush for that, right? You have to use a brush for those mediums. But if you just want to lay down some color, let's do a couple more here. You could just go in here with your watercolor pencil and go over it with, to blend it all out, because then it's all blended. It's all going to blend. I think that right there is part of a hill right in there. Let's see. This is part of the mountain right there. You can do a quick lay down of some color. I'm trying to find the cactuses here. And blend it out with a watercolor brush. Pretty quick. Now, again, this brush is kind of floppy. I'm not liking that it's, let me just get a regular brush. This particular, see how long the bristle is? So it makes it real floppy. So I'm not getting any pressure like a regular paintbrush gives, this regular paintbrush gives me. So now I can just go over the whole thing. And you see how it's brightening up when I lay the water on top of it? So I can get a nice watercolor base. Can y'all see? Well, maybe let me zoom back in again, guys. Sorry. Hopefully we're focused. We're still focused. So I'm able to move over. All right, so see the difference here where I've just laid down the pencil and I've gone over it with the water. See how much vibrancy it got with the water on top? Okay. All right, now see, look at the difference between that one and this one. See how much more vibrant this is by adding the water? So if you want a nice base in a detailed area, I could see how they would be useful in a small color, in a color book with small items. Okay. But getting those nice darks. See, now I can even go in here. Let me get a black just to show you the contrast. Let me sharpen. I can even get back in here and even go darker. In some of those really recessed areas. Gotta get over this way. When you're zoomed in, you really have to pay attention that you don't get off camera. The contrast makes all the difference, guys, in color books. I've said this before. People show me their color book pages and they say, I used all the same colors like you and Sammy do. And it's not looking like yours and Sammy's. What am I doing wrong? And I can almost guarantee you it's because they haven't done enough contrast. You haven't got enough darks and lights to make it pop. It's almost always the case. I don't know if Sammy's still here, if she would agree, that when people show their pages to her, what am I doing wrong? It's almost always you don't have enough contrast. You know, and that's true probably with, you know, other things, you markers or anything we use. You got to have contrast to really make it stand out. Okay. Now I've added some real dark darks, but what I'd have to do now is I'd want to go back in here with the dark green, and every place that I just touch this with the black and kind of blend it, like take the dark green or a dark green. Let's see here. And then every place that I put the dark black, I'd want to make sure it's not too like a harsh line. I'd want to feather that black in some just to make sure it's not too just a black line. I don't want just a black line. I'd want it to feather in with a dark green. So you've got to keep layering. I mean, you got to keep blending and layering. Okay. You want it high contrast, but you don't want it to be so harsh and sharp where you've added those dark darks. You have to keep going back and blending so that you have high contrast, but not a harsh black line. Does that make sense? See how it's working there? Gotta blend it in. And then if you need lighter lights, you can do a couple different things, like depending on what your base is. Now, if you've got a base of watercolor, you could put pencil over it. But if you've got pencil on pencil, white pencil is not like, if I took a white pencil now and went over all this where I've got all this dark green and all this layers of pencil, it's not going to show up. That's why I always say that I like an acrylic base, because with an acrylic base, you can put white pencil on top of it. Do I have my little test sheet still up here? I try to keep it handy. Did I keep it? Do I need to do it again? Where is it? I always say I'm going to keep one sample up here, and then I never do. Uh-oh. A whole bunch of stuff just fell behind my tail. There went I had one of that painted rock. I just sent my painted rock right over the edge. Okay, so let's get another piece. Oh, I'm rolling over the cat toys. Look out, baby. I don't want to roll over you too. All right. I got 4 or 5 cat toys around my feet. Let's see here. Let me get a piece of paper here to test on. No scrap paper when I need it. Find a piece of scrap paper here. Okay. All right, so here's a piece of scrap paper just to show you. All right, so again, I'm going to show you this. I always say I'm going to keep one of these. Maybe let's just cut this down. So, all right, so I'm going to take some black acrylic paint. I'm just going to put a little dab of black acrylic paint. I'm going to get it dry. Okay, so here's black acrylic paint. Clean my fingers. Let me get a baby wipe. Yeah, when you have a puppy. What they're doing, Gail, is they're bringing them to me. They're bringing me all their cat toys, and they lay them around my feet because they want me to play with them while I'm doing this. They don't like to be ignored. All right, so there's acrylic paint, and let me write this down. And then down here, I'm going to do pencil. Okay, so now I got a black Prismacolor, and I'm going to get it as dark as the black paint. Okay. Let me dry that. So my point in showing you this is, like, here's my little cactus here. Now that I've put some layers of color pencil on top of the watercolor pencil, I can go in here with white, a white pencil. Let me sharpen here again. Oh, that's not dry yet. Hang on. So if I wanted to add some highlights on this cactus, the white pencil is not going to show up. And here's my example. Let's imagine this is the dark green. And here's a white pencil on top of pencil. I'm going to put hard pressure. Look, I'm putting as much pressure as I can. You do not, all I'm doing, look, I'm just picking up the black. You see, you don't see any white there. Now I'm going to go over here and clean my pencil off the tip. You want to clean your pencil off. So this is white pencil on top of black. You can't even see it. Now watch what happens when I go on the black acrylic paint, even lightly, even barely holding onto the pencil. Look, just barely holding on. And if I want to put pressure, I can almost get it solid white again. This is your benefit of having an acrylic wash or an acrylic, even just flat black or flat color base, because you can do things like glow and like if I put black around all these here in the background, I could go around these cactuses and put a glow around the cactus. It doesn't have to be white. It can, if you're going to do something, say like yellow, though, I would put a white base down and then go over it with yellow because it's going to show up. The yellow is kind of translucent. But you see how you can do that? There's no way. Look, it does not go over. It does not go over pencil. Pencil over pencil like that just doesn't work. But pencil over paint. That's why I like to use an acrylic base on a lot of things. And, you know, you've seen a lot of my Kerby pages. The whole thing is base coated with acrylic paint because then I can go in there with pencil on top of anything. So now what I can do, though, here, because it's all pencil and I can't use white pencil on top of that because it's not going to show up to put those highlights. Now, you can always leave areas. You can always leave areas light, but that's more work. That's more work I want to put into a color book page. That's just me. So what I like to do is I can take a Posca. I can take a Posca and I can get in here and let's just say I want some of these spines to show, like maybe they're the spines are highlighted. So I'm going to go in here and I'll move it in closer to you. You won't be able to probably see. And even though they're bright white now, let me just put a few in here. Even though they're bright white now, once the Posca dries, I can go over the Posca with a color. So let's put in a few little spikes here. I want them kind of going different ways, you know, because they are spiky. And you can be more strategic with them. I'm just kind of wanting to demo it for you. And you want to do this step at the very end. When you're completely done coloring everything in, this is one of the icings on the cake. You want to do this at the very end. All right, well, that's enough to give you an idea. So, all right, so you see where I went and put a bunch of spikes in there with white? Now, let me hit it with the heat gun. You want to make sure that's dry, because if you don't, when you go in there with pencil on top of it, it's going to just pull it off. Now, here's a couple things you can do is you can go in here with watercolor on top of that. I have learned so much from watching your video. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Benny. Thank you. You can go back in here with another layer of watercolor on top of that white Posca, or just take, let's just say, what green do I want to use? Do I want to use the light? Well, not the very lightest green. Let me get a Prisma over here that's not real light, but not the lightest color. Maybe a lime peel. Let me sharpen. And now that that white is dry, I can go over it. I can go over the white Posca with another color, and it'll knock back the white, but you're going to see it through. I'm going to try to do a section here. You're still going to see the vibrancy of where I put that Posca down, but it's not going to be white. Let me see. Let me do a couple areas with it and then some without. Let's see here. Let's do some here. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to tell the difference. Okay, so here is where I put some down, green on top of the white, and then here's where I don't have any. These right here don't have any green on top. And here's some with the green on top. Can you all see the difference there where I've added green over the top of the Posca and where I haven't? Like here, I don't have any. And here I do have some. See how it's still vibrant? See how it's still, you can still see those spikes, but they're not white. They're green. So that's a way to get highlights, and it doesn't just have to be spikes. It can be it can be anything. But you can still get detail. You can get highlighted details with a white Posca and a color over the top. Sometimes you might actually want white. But here I don't want white spikes. I want green spikes. But I want them to pop. So I just go over them. I'm going to find them all. Go over them all, and now they're still showing. You can still see them, but they're not bright white. I know, right, Devin? And it can be the same thing. Let's just say on this mountain back here. Let's say you want some brighter highlights, but you don't want them white necessarily, but you want some highlights in your mountain here. Well, go in here with your white Posca and pick out the highlights that you want. Now make sure you got to dry it either with the heat gun or let it dry. If I went in here right now with the pencil, it would just smear it right off, right? It'd just smear it right off. So I'm going to go in here with the white Posca, pick out some rock formations. At the top of these edges here, maybe. You'll just get so much more detail that might have got lost with your coloring. Like maybe there's some down in here, little rocky edges in there. Back in here, maybe. All right, now I'm going to dry this. Let's see. Let's do something kind of dramatic. Let's take an orange, just so that it'll really show up. I probably wouldn't do it orange, but I want to do it so you can see. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take an orange and go over all the places that I just put the Posca. So it's going to knock back. It's going to knock back the white from being white, but it's still going to be very, very vibrant compared to not. Okay, so there I put some orange in there on top of the white. And then if that's still not vibrant enough, you can go in here and add another layer. Let's get it going here. You can add another layer of highlights maybe on some of the little cliff edges there, some of the top edges of the rocks. You can go through here and add even more detail and then add even another color of highlighted. Because you can just keep going. Oh, this is acrylic paint, right? It's acrylic paint in a pen. So you can keep adding acrylic paint, all day long. Well, I don't know, all day. I don't know, 20 layers. I don't know how many layers you could add. But you can add a lot of acrylic paint on top of your pencil. So let's get down in here, little details maybe in there and there. I didn't put anything over on that side yet. So you can see how I added more highlights on the rocks. Hi, Becky and Steve. Right, now I can go in there. Let me add something real dramatic. Let's add some purple or something, just so you can really see. Let's get a purple. Let's see. Let's get a nice bright purple. No, not that bright. Okay, here. This is Dahlia purple. All right. I want to do this not necessarily because of these mountains would be this purple, but I want you to see how it shows up. Let's see here. This might be too dark. I might need a lighter purple. I want a lighter. Here we go. I want you to be able to see it. I don't want it to be so subtle that you can't see it. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the white that I just put on. And hopefully you'll be able to see. It's still subtle, but I think you'll be able to see it. I'm going right over the top of the white Posca with the light purple to give it like a purple haze to it. All right. A purple glow kind of to the mountains. I've got some over here too. Okay. Hopefully be able to see the purple in there. The purple on top of the white. It's subtle, but you want that if you're going to do kind of realistic. See? How often let me see, I missed a question. How often do you replace your Posca pens? I have a lot of them, so I'm just usually picking one up or the other, so I don't know. They last a long time, like in a color book. I'm not doing paintings with them, right? I'm using them for details. So one white Posca pen will last you a good while, and they come in different sizes. Like this is a fine point. There's even a finer point than this. I find that this one is fine. I mean, good, I think it's a 0.7, I think is what that one is. I'm not sure. But you can get the fatter ones that have bullet tips. If you're going to buy one, get one that has, a point to it. Whoops. Get one that has a point, not the rounded bullet tip. I think they're just called fine tips. It's all in Japanese, so it's hard to read what any of the sizes are because it's all in Japanese. This is a point. Is this a 0.1? It says PC-1M.M/white. I'm trying to see if it says something like a 7. Oh, here it is, 0.7 millimeters. So it's a 0.7. That's what I thought it was. but it's the fine point. Don't get the bullet tip because it's rounded and you're not going to be able to get detail with the rounded one. Okay. So just so you can kind of see how you can use the Posca on top, right? Take a sip of water here. Got my bottle of water. So here's just with, just a wash of the watercolor. And then we built it up in some places. We built it up with the watercolor, and then we added regular Prismacolor on top of it. But if you take, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the black background, I think. So there's some birds flying. I'll just like redraw the birds. But let me get a piece of, well, here's a piece of paper right here. You want to put something behind it so you don't glue your pages together there. I'm going to put a piece of white paper behind here. And I'm going to get out some black. Oh, my foot's asleep. I've been sitting on my foot. Some black paint and a paintbrush. Let me get a little bit more detailed one. There we go. What does your ring say? It's in Hebrew. It says, "Where you go, I'll follow," from the Book of Ruth. Yeah, it's a what's it? They're out of San Antonio. What's the name of the company? Mom would know it. So old, I can't think of it. I don't even know. I think they're still in business. CB is. I don't know if CB's here. She would know. What's the name of the company? I mean, they're nationwide. I mean, you can buy them anywhere, but I think their headquarters is in San Antonio. I haven't checked on them in years. Avery, what is it? James Avery. It's a James Avery silver. James Avery. It's real silver. James Avery silver ring. Yeah, thank you, Molly. Molly said James Avery. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get. I'm going to cover up those birds, but I can put them back in. But anyway, I want to paint around this so you can see if I want to put a glow or anything around. And this is how I add stars. All right, so same thing for the little spikes coming out of the cactus. I'm not going to try to paint around those. I'll paint right over those spikes, but I'll go back in there with the Posca or a pencil. You can go in there with the fine pencil because you're on top of acrylic paint. This is the same thing that I did with the blue sky. The blue sky here, I don't want to close it and touch this side, but the blue sky here, this is acrylic paint, right? That's all blue acrylic paint. And then some of this is white acrylic paint and white pencil, right? And then you can see up here in these, see those little leaves that kind of stick out every which way? That's Posca. White Posca little leaves. And then I go back over that white with the lighter green, so it makes it look like the little leaves are all sticking out every different which way. All right, so let me just go ahead and go all the way to the edge here, so I can once I get to the edge, I can move that paper behind. I just don't want to glue my sheets of paper, my color book paper pages together. So let's go around the edge here. It's probably best to put a wax paper or something behind it. Okay, so now I can move the little piece of paper because I'm already to the edge. All right, so now I'm going to go in here and fill in. Now black usually, because I put it on pretty thick, black usually you can do it in one coat. Red, lime green, and yellow, you'll probably have to have 2 coats because it's translucent. The other thing is matte paint. This is matte paint. If you try to use gloss, satin, metallic, anything that has a sheen to it, or an artist grade paint that has a binder in it that gives it a sheen. See, that's why I was talking on Monday that I didn't ever buy Jane Davenport's tubed paints. These, I never bought these before, Jane Davenport, because I thought that they would be like an artist grade and then therefore have a sheen to them. And if they have a sheen to them, color pencil will not go on top of sheen. So that's why I just use craft paint. I'm just using, like Americana Deco craft paint or the Jane Davenports, because come to find out those paints are matte, which I did not know when they first came out. I thought they were an artist grade. And you want me to paint you some clouds, adult color? And I'll show you some clouds. I've shown them before, but I can show them again. Let me finish this, and then we'll do some clouds on a samples paper. So it has to be matte. And those Jane Davenports are very matte. But I didn't know that when they first came out. When they first came out, I assumed, wrongly so, that they were going to be a artist grade that has the sheen to them. All right, so now I'm going around all these cactuses, and I'll have to go back in here with the white Posca and put the little spikes in, which, I don't mind doing because I like doing things with the Posca. So, but if you did all this, what I'm doing now with a black pencil, colored this in with a black pencil, and then wanted to put any kind of glow or stars or shooting star, anything, you could do it. You could do it with a Posca because the paint will go over anything, but it won't. As you can see here, this is pencil over pencil. This is pencil over paint. I paint, the color background isn't black. It goes, then you need 2 coats, Gaga. Yeah, you'll need 2 coats. And again, I'm putting this on thick, guys. I'm not, now you can do a wash. If all right, let me back up. If you want to paint something like this cactus with your acrylic wash, it has to be thin so you see all the detail, right? You want it to be a wash. And by a wash, I just mean watered down acrylic. Then you can still see the line art underneath. If you're going to do a flat background, black or otherwise, it may take 2 coats. That's what I was saying a minute ago. Red, yellow, lime green are translucent. So it will probably take 2 coats. But I mean, look how much I'm picking up there. Can you see how thick that is? Look, I'm blobbing down. That's a lot of paint. It's thick. There's no water in this background. No water on my brush. And if you even have a little bit of water in your brush, it's going to make it translucent. You want it just for a background. If you want a flat area, whether it's a background or another area, if you want a flat color, you're going to have to not have no water. And also, if you can notice, I'm kind of scrubbing over the same area. See how I'm kind of moving it around and really kind of scrubbing it into the paper? Don't know if you can tell. Where can I color, Dee Dee? Where can I color on other platforms? Where can you show your work, you mean, Katie? I'm not sure where can you see my work? Yeah, you can see it on Instagram, Twitter, and I don't post everything on Twitter, but I post pretty much all my finished stuff on Instagram and my Facebook album. I have a color book. I have all my art is public. My art on Facebook is public. You can go see all my art without following me or me following you. My art folders, or whatever you want to call them, my art folders on Facebook, you just have to go find me, Dee Dee Willingham, and then go find my folders. They're all broken down by name. Like I have pets, portraits, color book pages. What else do I have? My fan art, gold rush portraits. They all have their own album, but they're all public. All my art is public. So if you want to see my color book pages, Instagram and my Facebook. And I try to remember to post them all. I don't always remember 100% of every single one. Sometimes I have to go back and say, oh, I forgot to post this one. And then I post it late. But Instagram will have my most up-to-date, probably. Instagram will have my most up-to-date completed pages. And that's not just my color book, but my abandoned books, my altered books, mixed media, um, portraits, pet portraits, collage. It has a little everything. So I just want to finish this so I can show you what you can do with the background again. And then I'll do something with clouds. I'll do something. I'll paint a black back. Well, which would you rather have? Whoever asked me about clouds, you want me to paint a blue? You want it on blue? You want it on black? What will be easiest for you to see if I do a little cloud demo? I don't remember who asked me just a minute ago about clouds. If you want it on blue or black, just black, you can see it easier, but blue is like more realistic sky color. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it as well. So check again. I'm not seeing an answer yet. Hi, Lady Jan. Judy O. I know I'm missing people coming in. Put it in caps if you answer me. Whoever asked me about painting clouds. I don't remember who said it, and I might miss the answer. Maybe they're not here anymore. I don't know. So I'm really, getting it covering the white there. Blue. Okay. Oh, there it is. Adult coloring for UFOs asked me blue. Okay. Yeah, there's, okay, blue. Okay, we'll do a blue sky. All right, so let's finish this up here. So I hope y'all like the little demo with the watercolor pencils. And I don't know which watercolor pencils. I do have a few kinds. Maybe we'll do just a test. We'll just do a little watercolor pencil test. Like I have the Hobby Lobby ones, the Arteza. I have a couple of the Prima skin tone ones, I think. I might have a couple different kinds. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of watercolor pencils because I just don't, you can see I don't use them that much. But I did buy the Arteza. What do y'all call it? Do y'all call it Arteza or Arteza? Put your answer in there and see what y'all call it. Because I see people that do the demos with the product, I see them calling it both. I see them calling it Arteza and Arteza. Okay, so Nana says Arteza. Tease. Everybody's saying, that's what I thought it was too, Arteza. But I hear people saying Arteza. And I haven't seen a representative of the company say one way or another, so I don't know. I don't think it matters. I was just curious. That's like Molly's, the journals, Moleskine. They did actually have representatives film them saying it. Moleskine. I just call them Mollies. Some people say moleskine, moleskin, but it's Moleskine. I looked that up some years ago, but I just call it Mollies. But anyway, all right, let's see what else. Everybody's saying Arteza, tease. Oh, thank you, Lauren. And thank you. If you follow me, Lauren, if you just follow me, I'll find you. I'll follow you back. Thanks for looking over on my Instagram. Okay, whoops, sorry, got off camera. See, when you're zoomed in, you got to keep moving you have to keep moving along because you'll get off camera real quick. I won't do the bottom here. I'll just go down this edge. Let's get around this last cacti. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Thanks for all the follows and likes. I spent most all day yesterday doing the channel thank yous for those that support me on Super Chat and PayPals. I do have a couple people. Guys, remember, if you PayPal me, email me your address or leave it in the PayPal. There's a place you can leave a comment in PayPal. Leave me your address so I know where to send you a thank you. Otherwise, I can't send you something if I don't have your address. And I don't share your address with anybody, not even the mods. I always try to say that. Don't put you on an email list. But if you would like a thank you, if you super chat or PayPal me, you got to email me your address. Thanks, Benny. Well, Benny, here, email me your address if you want to thank you. I'll put it in here too. Picola usually beats me to it, but I'll try to get there. There's my email. Email me if you would like a thank you. That was very sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Benny. Benny _ color me happy too. $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Benny. I'll go find your channel later. You got your pink mail? Oh, Carla, good. I'm so glad it made it to you. Yeah, Carla, I'm glad you're happy. Pink happy mailman. That was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. What, a week maybe? Thank you, Carla. Yeah, that was quick. I sent Carla that pink ribbon and flower ribbon and all that. Yeah, I'm glad it made it to you pretty quick. So that's good. And Sammy in UK got her little wedding confettis that we sent last week as well. So that mail is going pretty quick. Okay. Again, I need to come over here. I'm not going to do all this side right now because I want to show you. I want to get on with the demos. But this, I'll get the black all the way down here and probably down here as well. But I'm just going to leave it at this for now so I can show you. All right, let me clean my brush. All right, now let me dry this. And I'll do a couple different color demos because I can paint back over it. So I'm going to show y'all a couple things that it probably won't stay that way because I'll just repaint it, But I want to show you a couple different things you can do. All right, first off, we would want to have, again, I'd have to go through here and all the cactuses where I covered up all the little thorns on the edges that were sticking out on the sides of the cactus. I painted over those because I didn't want to paint around them, obviously. So now I can go back in here and put those little spikes back in. Yeah, that's showing up. Don't forget, guys, if you go back to watch the recording, it can take 2, 3, 4 hours for the full 3 hours, 3 hour plus show to fully render on YouTube along with the live chat. It doesn't show up right away. It takes a couple, 2, 3 hours for sometimes it takes more to get the live chat. So if you don't see the live chat in the recording, you got to give it a couple of hours to fully render and show up. Look how that show. Look at that. Look, guys, isn't that cool? Thank you, Picola. Thanks so much. You ordered the Wi-Fi. Oh, you're going to love it. You will love, I'm telling you, will love the Posca. And there's other colors too. I don't have every color of fine tip, but I have quite a few colors. Here, look. Yeah, here, look. These are some other paint pens in there too. But these right here, you can see these are Posca. These are some metallic Poscas. These are the metallic ones. I think Melody or Kenny sent me those some time ago. All right, so again, you can go back in and do that all the way around. All right. So there's how you would do the edges of the cactus. Now let me dry that so I'm not smearing it. So here's one of the benefits of having the black background. You can take, now let's just say if I wanted a planet, a nebula, I can also splatter stars on here. Y'all have seen me do a bucket of stars. I don't know if I want to do that right now. I guess I could. Let me do a couple. All right, so let me get the water out of there. All right, so I'm going to get some white paint. So just so you can see, now you can take your Posca and you could go in here and do star by star. The problem with doing it like that is that it's so, as random as you try to be, it's never going to be that random. And you really want your stars to be very random. Let me move this pencil case out of the way. Let me get some white paint. I thought I had one out here. I have to open a new one. Let's see if this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put some white paint in a little. I call it a bucket of stars. Now here's where I do add water to the paint, and then you want to get some kind of brush that's real fluffy, a soft, something that'll flick paint fairly easily. Let's see. Let me find something pretty soft. There we go. So I just want something that's pretty soft. Look, a soft, fluffy brush. And I'm going to mix up this watered down paint here and tap it off in the in here first, because otherwise you're going to get really big. You're going to get planets instead of stars. So, and then I'm going to even need a little bit more water. Tap it off on there, and then I'm going to come over here. It's still, you water it down even a little bit more. It's still they're still a little big. And I want to flick down. Not if they're too big, then come back over to your little bowl and knock some more off. Knock as much paint off as you want. And then you can get some nice little stars. Okay, just a tiny bit more. If you get too much or you don't like it, you can wipe it off. It's wet. And then if it's dry, then just go in there and paint over it. All right, so. All right, that's good just to show you. Okay. Now, any place that you got one, like if you got one here, you didn't want it there, just go in there and wipe it off. While it's wet, you can go in there and wipe it away. All right, now let me dry this. I'm going to show you 2 or 3 things here. That's wet right there where I wiped it with the baby wipe. It does take a minute to dry those stars. And I still haven't gone in here. See these big white dots here? Those are the flowers on the cactus that I'll probably do red. That would probably be something I could go ahead and do. But anyway, all right. So now what I want to do is I'm going to show you. Let's use maybe I love orange. I love orange in my sky. Nebula's orange, and I like my blue. I don't know if I want blue, though. I think we'll go with lime green because we got the cactus. So let's have that. So you can do some planets. Okay, you can go in here, maybe make the center nice and bright. And go around here with some planets. And then you can do some nebulization. You can make you a nice nebula in the sky. See how I can go over that black and it shows up? It's because of the acrylic paint. You can't do this on top of pencil. All right, so maybe some lime green in the sky. And then maybe there's a glow around the mountains. Maybe there's something going on behind that mountain right there. So I might put a nice glow around that top, that peak of that mountain right there. So you can do all kinds of things. Then you can get in there if you want it even brighter. You can do all this because you're working on top of acrylic paint. And again, if I don't like this later for my finished piece, I'll just paint this back out with black. Okay, so you can do that kind of thing. You can do shooting stars. You can do a shooting star. You know, maybe you might want to start with the Posca, nice bright white, and then a little bit of glow around it and a shooting star. There's all kinds of things you can do on top of the black paint. If you just want a nice glow around something, then let's just say you want a nice little like hot glow around some of this cactus. You can just barely touch it. You just barely touch it and you're going to have, you know, color around. Okay. So it's because it's on black acrylic paint that you can do that. You know, and you can smooth that out even more if you want. You can do as much as you want on top of the acrylic paint, right? If you want more of a glow right around the top of that mountain, you could go in there with your Posca and then let it dry. Let's dry that. And then take your white pencil. Well, it's not quite dry. It's not quite dry. I smeared it. It's not quite dry. You got to make sure it's dry. You can smear some white out. You can make a nice glow. Extra bright. And again, you don't have to leave this white. Once it's dry, you can go over it with a color pencil. I'm just kind of trying to get some in there. I could show you how bright. You can get real bright, right? I'm getting a close encounter of their color. Yeah, it does kind of look like that mountain, doesn't it? The one that Richard Dreyfuss put in the mashed potatoes. Well, actually, isn't it? Where is that? Is it in North Dakota, Wyoming? Where is that mountain? That butte or whatever, you know, but it's got a flat top on it. The one in it's got a flat top on it. So when this is dry, then I could go in there with Wyoming. It is in Wyoming. And if I wanted to add, you know, I could put in some orange on top. I could knock back the white. It doesn't have to be bright white. You know, I could put some, knock it back with some orange or some more yellow. You know, you can do more things with it. Again, if I don't like this, guys, I'll just paint this out. I'll just paint it out with the black paint and start over. I just want to kind of demo some things for you. And again, these flowers right here would be nice. Let me just get a red Posca just because it's handy and easy. I can base coat some of these little flowers. On the cactus, put some of those little red flowers. And even if there's not one there, I could put one. I can put more of those little flowers in there if I want. Let's add a couple more. There's one there. So I can just add some of those little prickly pear little flowers in there. Okay. Yeah, the mashed potatoes. So you can do all kinds of things. And then if you want a few brighter stars or bigger ones where you splattered the paint and it's not bright enough, you can go back in there and kind of, you know, add a little bit extra for a couple of them. But if you splatter the stars, they look much more realistic than if you just do this. Even if you try to be random, they're all kind of the same size. They're all kind of the same. Whereas if you splatter them, you're going to get all kinds of variety of stuff. And you can go in here and put strategically placed stars that you might want more of, or a planet, or, you know. And of course, you know me, I don't mind taking a bucket of, it's a bucket of stars and a bowl of planets, I think Pacola said. So I got my I got my bowl of planets. So if I wanted to add, here's a green one. It's kind of big. Let's see what other little ones I got in here. So I can go in here with a bowl of planets. These are from Devin, Rex, and Janet. And there's just to show you one. So you could go in there and add your own, glue one in. Nothing, Kerby is not going to email you. Kerby will not email you and say, I did not put a planet there. You know what I mean, Vern? He's not going to email you and say that you can't do that. Hi, Leah Sheets. Hi. Okay, so there you go. You can kind of see we got a little start. We did a little practice. Oh, I did want to show. Let's go back over here. Let's go to our little test sheet here. Let's go to our little test sheet here. I covered that up so it was wet when we did it. And let's test a couple different watercolor pencils. All right, so this, I don't even remember which color this one was. Was it this color? No. Is it this color? Yeah, it was this color. All right, so this is kind of a moss green. It's called Coyote, but it's kind of a moss green. Let me go and let's see what I got similar. So in the Master, they're called Fine Touch, but it's a Hobby Lobby brand. Let's do a couple tests with these two. All right, so let me write the names down. Let me get a little pen here. All right, so we'll do the Arteza and the Hobby Lobby. What do they call it again? Fine Touch. Is it Fine? Fine Touch. Hobby Lobby Fine Touch. Now, the Hobby Lobby, the set I got does not have, I think it's 36, 24 or 36 colors. Let me get 2, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 36. I think I got 36 colors. I don't know if that's all the colors that the Hobby Lobby one makes. The Arteza ones, I think they're 60. I think there's 60 in the Arteza. There's way more anyway. Okay, so here's the Arteza. That's almost too brown. Let's try it. Let's go with the moss. Let's go with the different here. Oh, I think this is the color. Well, either one, it's going to be as green as this. I need to pick another color green out of the Arteza. Let's see. I want to try to get comparable colors. Let's see here. Let's get some comparable colors. Doesn't have to be ones we use today. Are these two comparable? Those are pretty close. All right, so we're going to do let's do another test. Let me rewrite it down here. Okay, so here's the Arteza, and here's the Hobby Lobby. Okay, the Fine Touch. All right. I want to try to have similar colors. Okay, so first off, it feels like the Arteza are a little smoother, a little waxier. The Hobby Lobby is I have to put a little more pressure. I have to put a little more pressure on the Hobby. Of course, I think the Hobby Lobbies were not very expensive at all. Okay, so now let's get our water brush here and see what happens. Okay. There's the Arteza. And again, this is not watercolor paper. Maybe I should be doing this on, I think I will do another test. Okay, it looks like the Hobby Lobby ones kind of blend quicker. Let me get a piece of watercolor paper because this is really not a fair test for differing kinds of watercolor pencils because this is not watercolor paper. Let me get a piece of watercolor paper here. Okay, and this is the rough side. Here's a smooth side. Maybe we'll do both. Okay, so let's move this to the side. All right, so let's do a little test. No, I haven't forgot about your clouds. We'll do the clouds in a minute. Okay, so Arteza and Hobby Lobby Fine Touch. The Fine Touch is a Hobby Lobby brand. Master's Touch, Fine Touch. Okay, so, and then I'm going to do it on the smooth side. So we'll do it on both. So this is Arteza and then Hobby Lobby. Okay. So we're going to do it on both sides. All right, so here's the Arteza, and this on the rough. Here it is on the smooth. Okay, and then we'll do the Hobby Lobby. Here's the smooth, and it's laying down. This is the Artezas are creamier. They're creamier laying it down. Just the feel of laying it down. The fine touch is it's like a harder pencil. It's kind of like trying to compare Prismacolor to oh, what's the one? So I've got so many brands in my head now. Comparing them to comparing Prismacolor to, hang on, polychromos. It's kind of trying to compare Prismacolor to polychromos. Polychromos are just a little harder. That's what this feels like. The Arteza are smoother and creamier than the Fine Touch. The Fine Touch, the Hobby Lobby Fine Touch are a harder pencil. Now let's see what we do with the water. Okay, so on the smooth side, this is the smoother side of the watercolor paper. I'm trying not to, I mean, I can probably sit here and make that blend, but it's not just blending real easily, right? I mean, you can still see the pencil. Okay, here it is with the, okay. This is on watercolor paper. Oh, you're welcome, little sister. This is on this is the smooth side. I mean, I can tell it, but let me just write it for you. Smooth side. And let's dry this. Then after this, we're going to do some clouds, and then that'll probably be it for the day. Thanks, everybody, for all the thumbs up. Thanks. I've got 250-something people here. Thanks, guys. That's so nice. All the lurkers, waving and hello to the lurkers. I just want to dry it so I can turn it over. Okay. All right, so this is on the rough side. And again, this would probably be considered like the rough watercolor, and this would be like, you know, they don't call it smooth. It would be, oh, I can't think of it right. I got too many things in my head. Okay, so here's the Arteza on the rough side. You can see it's easier to kind of blend it out. And here's the Hobby Lobby Fine Touch. Trying to give the same amount of pressure and everything. I think the biggest difference, for me, the biggest difference is the Arteza are softer. And y'all know I like my soft Prismacolor, right? I like my soft Prismacolor. So, you know, I like a soft pencil. The Hobby Lobby feels more like a Polychromos is a little harder pencil. Okay, so let's I want to look at see what other kind of pencils I have in here. Okay, so I don't know if that helps any. And it is not the exact same color either. It's as close as I can get. Thank you, DD Battle. Thank you. So you can see. Neither one of them are I could probably make them dissolve by scrubbing them. Let's take not a watercolor brush, but a regular, regular brush that you have to wet. Let's see. I'll find some place to put some water in. All right, this is dry paint, so I just want to put some. Oh, and I got to read the book. I got to read out of our book. Do not want to forget, because I forgot last week. We have to read out of our 1001 Ways to Be Creative. I'm going to set it right there next to my mouse. All right, so I'm going to go in here with the water. Now that looks like paint, and there's just water on dried paint. And let's see about scrubbing that. You know, like trying to make it blend. Let's do another little test here. Let's put those colors down again. Here's the Arteza. And here's it's just so much, the Arteezas are so much smoother. Yeah, I mean, just laying it down, this I'm having to kind of really work at putting this down. Now, if I just do a light coat, I don't know that I could really tell. There's a light coat here and a light coat. Oh, it's the wrong color. Wait, no, that was the right color. Is that the right? Yeah, see, it just goes down. The Arteza lays down much easier. All right, Dee, you should try Castle Art pencils. Yeah, I love my poly. I mean, my Prisma. I don't know that I would like them any better. Okay, so let's see. And I mean, I have the Holbeins. I call them Holbees. I have the Polychromos, the Polys. I have the Luminants, the Lumies. I have the Cobra Spider ones. I've got plenty of pencils. I mean, if I was demoing them or something, that would be one thing. But okay, so here's the Arteza. Now I'm going to use a regular brush and I'm going to try to scrub it in. It's even to the point of pilling this paper. Okay. All right. Now let's do the I'm scrubbing it in. So can y'all see? All right. Okay. Let's see what other pencils do I have here. Watercolor pencils. I mean, I have a couple other brands. Let's see. I don't have a lot of them, and some of them I have some. Where's Eileen? Eileen will recognize these. These Derwent watercolor pencils I've probably had 30 years. 40, maybe 40 years. Eileen, how how old would these pencils be? At least 30, maybe 40 years old. These Derwent watercolor pencils. Oh, one other test that I did want to do with this is the dip pen. Let's do the dip thing. Okay, so now we're going to do the dip. Let's do the, gotta get some more water in there. Okay, so I want to dip the tip. All right, now let's do that with the Hobby Lobby. Okay, so there's this is on the smooth side. And this is on watercolor paper, which is, textured. Even the smooth side has some texture. All right. Now let's let me move all these other ones because I'm going to get confused. Let's keep our 2 here. All right. So now let me get another one of these little cards here. Okay. So this will be the smooth. This will be the rough. And I think this is just this is probably some Strathmore watercolor paper. It's probably what this is. 140 weight. Okay, so now let's try these old Derwent. I don't even know if I know you can still buy Derwent watercolor pencils, but probably not these. I don't even know. I'm just curious now. So let's see what color. Probably this color looks the most right. And they even say Rexall Derwent, England on it. Yeah. Does anybody ever use these or still have these? Or do they still make them? Do they still make these in the UK? Anybody over there know? All right, so let's see. Oh, let me write this down. So these are the Rexall Derwent. And it has England actually on it. Where's Eileen? Would this be like having the would this be like having the Prisma, the original Prismas, the Eagles? Would this be like the Eagles? I haven't tried them lately either, Artsy. Okay, so here we go. So here it is. And they still work. I mean, they don't like. I don't think the pigment like goes bad, and they feel they're very soft. They're very soft. Okay, the same thing for here's on the rough side, and they just feel more pigmented. Let's see. Let me write here. Oops, Derwent. All right, so let's see what happens when we add water. Let's just use a regular brush here. Oh yeah, that these blend out like amazing. Look how that's blended out. Can y'all see how quick that blended out? Let's put them on the rough side. Whoops, I got that one kind of got wet there. Can y'all see that already? All right, let's dry this and then we'll put it on the other side. I don't think I have any regular, like the new Derwent watercolor. I don't even know what they'd be called now. But look at that pigment. Look at that pigment on there. Okay, Eileen says the watercolor pencils she likes are Da Vinci. Who makes, is that the company? Eileen, who makes Da Vinci? All right, now here is the Derwent on the smooth side. Look, it just immediately broke down. I mean, it just immediately broke down. I didn't have to scrub or rub or nothing. Look at that. Okay, so I'm rolling with these Rexall Derwent. I don't have the new Derwent watercolor. I don't know what they were going to do. All right, so let's see what else do I have in here. I have some of the Prima skin tones. What are these? Oh, wait, what are these? What are these babies? These are Albrecht Dürer. These are the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer. Again, these are German, from Germany, and they're probably going to be old. I don't know if Faber-Castell still makes this exact pencil. Somebody might be able to tell me here. All right, let me write this one down. And these are Albrecht Dürer. And these are by Faber-Castell. Okay. We'll get another page out for if I have a couple others. Yeah. All right. So Danielle has given these a thumbs up. You can still get these, Louise said. Coloring chat, Sammy says, I'm using those in her. Oh, these are the ones you're using now, these watercolor ones, Sammy? You're using these watercolor ones now? Yeah, we're playing the oldies, Mark. Okay, so here's the rough side. And here is the smooth side. And again, they go down real soft. This goes down real soft like the other, like the Derwent. Now let's do a comparison here. It's a little bit different color, but I didn't have that exact green. Well, here, this one might be better. Let's try this color. I don't have that grass green color. I don't have every color in these. All right, let's clean the brush off here. All right, so here's this green here. And you can see these are very highly pigmented as well. All right, let's dry that and try it on the rough side. And there's a little cloud demo before we go. Do a little cloud demo. Yeah, lots more pigment. Well, yeah, you know, the more expensive pencils are going to have the better pigment, right? Okay, so here we go. Yeah, see, these break down real quick too. And you're going to have better results, I'm sure, on this watercolor paper with any watercolor pencils rather than like in a color book. Okay. Okay, so I got two more kinds. Here, let me get another sheet. All right, let's do this. Is the rough side. Let's move on. I'm so zoomed in. This is the rough side, smooth. I think I have two more kinds here, and I don't have tons of colors, but I have the old, very old Prismacolor. Okay, these are very old too. These are the old Prismacolor watercolor pencils. I can't even tell you how old these are. Let me sharpen. I don't know. These are old, guys. All right, so here's the Prisma watercolor. Let's write this down. I'm going to write old because they may have a new kind. Well, I know they have a new kind, but I don't know. I don't think I have those. I don't have any of those. Any of the new kind. Yeah. Okay, so this is the old Prisma. I'm just writing it. They may be exactly the same, but I don't know. I don't have anything to compare. Okay. Okay. And this is probably the only kind of green that I could. This is on the rough, and this is on the smooth. And again, it's going down pretty smooth, but these two went down much quicker. These went down like butter. Okay. So let's see what happens when we wet this. Okay, it broke down pretty quick. I got to dry it. And then on the rough side, it's breaking down pretty quick, but not as, I don't know. This Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer, if I had to pick one, I'm thinking that one. And again, I haven't done a full-on test of all the different pigments and all that, but this Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer is pretty, yeah, that's kind of the winner here. All right, so let's put this one away. Let's put that away. Okay, and let's put, I think the rest, well, maybe this one. Okay, I'm just going to stick those because that's in a different case here. All right, so there we go. I hope that was kind of helpful. I hope that was kind of helpful. All right, I'm going to back out just a little so we can do the cloud demo. Let's do a cloud demo. Okay. Maybe it's just that's just so smooth and creamy and pigmented. And again, I don't know how old that is. They may have a completely new setup, new sets. I'll save these because, then that way the next time someone asks. Okay. And the same thing for this. I keep wanting to save one of these, and I always end up throwing it away and making a new one. All right. So real quick, let's do a blue. Move all these other pencils. Let's do a blue. And I got to read. Don't forget. Let's do a blue cloud demo. All right, let me get a piece of paper. I just want a piece of cardstock would be good. Let me find one. Let me find a piece of cardstock here. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to lay down. Let's do kind of a dark blue just because it'll show up. Not too dark, but I mean, I don't want to do baby blue. Let's see what color. Don't want just a blue. I'll do a combo. Let's do a little bit of 2 shades of blue, and then we'll do clouds over both. Okay, I'm shaking them up here. All right, so let's put some light blue. It's probably way more than I need. And let's put a little dark blue. Come on, the lid's clogged up here. Come on. Oh my gosh. All right, let's scoop some of that off. Let's scoop a little of that off here. Gosh. All right, so let's put some blue. Way too much blue. All right, hang on. I just want some blue down to do some clouds on top. I'll take the heat gun to it. Okay, so here we go. Let's put some blue down, and then here's some lighter blue up here. Well, that's more of a gray blue, but we'll put a couple shades. All right. And then I got it all over my. Let me get another baby wipe. Okay, so now got a baby wipe, one baby wipe to clean my palette knife off, and another baby wipe to play with the clouds. Oh, wait, let me get that one back in a minute. Let's clean this up a little here just so I'm not smearing it everywhere. All right, it's really thick still. Let me get some of the thickness off here. All right, now let's hit that with the heat gun. Hang on, guys. We're going to do some clouds. They are your favorite Elaine. The Albert Dürer ones are your favorite watercolor pencils. There's a couple different things you can do to make clouds. I think that's pretty dry. Let me get some white paint. I had some sitting here. Oh, here. Okay. So you can do, here's how I do it. And again, you can use a brush. Let me get a couple, let me get a brush. Let me get a couple things here. All right. So first off, I love using my fingers. I love to finger paint my clouds. So I'm going to do a couple different ways. So I'm just going to dab into the paint, and I'm going to kind of rub it across here. So just like that, you can make some clouds, far away ones. Just kind of rubbing them in there, kind of smoothing them out. See how quick you can make some clouds? Now you can make fluffier ones. You can just kind of. See how quick you can do it, though? A little thicker here. You can do like this. You can take a baby wipe. And when I use a baby wipe with white paint, I mash the paint into my hand. I mean, I mash it into the baby wipe. Okay, so it's not just sitting on top of the baby wipe. I'm mashing it into the baby wipe. So then you can get some, this is not dry down there. I just stuck my hand in that. You can get some soft clouds. Very soft clouds. Make them fluffy and then smooth them out. And then let that dry and set for just a minute, and you can add another like layer. You got to kind of let it dry in between so that you're not just moving the wet paint. You got to kind of let them sit just a second, and you can move them. You can do this. And then just, as it's drying, it's doing different things. You can do that. You can add more as it dries. So you can just do it with a baby wipe or with your fingers. Okay, if you want to do it with the brush, you can do a small brush here. And you can just do the same thing, but littler, more concentrated. These might be farther away. If your finger's too big to get real far away, you can do it with the brush too. But the thing is, this is kind of like a dry brush. The thing is you can't look at some clouds. None of them are perfect. None of them are exact, right? Nothing is exact, and you can almost do any kind of clouds. And then if you let it dry, let me go ahead and dry it. Then after it's dry, you can go in there and add even brighter ones on. Let's go down here. You can add some brighter things on top. Okay, you can do brighter, different layers because you've got one layer dry and you can just add more to it. You can also do a couple other things like, let's see, you can add some sunshine back in them with pencil. You can add some color in there, like coming through. See, I'm picking up wet paint. That's not dry. You can add, let me dry it because it's just not going to work if it's not dry. With a Posca, you can do rain. Uh-oh. And you can add stars. Just spotted it. You can add don't shake your pastas over your paper. But you can add rain, and when you do rain out of a cloud, don't just come up like here's the edge of a cloud. Okay? Don't just have your rain coming like that, right? Don't just have your rain coming out of the bottom of the cloud. It would be raining out of the middle. It would be overlapping. It would be coming out of the middle of the cloud. You see what I'm saying? If you do this, it's just going to look like a death ray coming off of a UFO. It's not going to look like rain. It's going to look like a death ray or something, like a beam of light, right? But you could do that too. You could do a smooth, like, you could beam a light out of a cloud. But, so yeah, it did. So if you want to do a rain streaks like that. Now, when I do any kind of like if I'm doing let's just say this. Let me get something dark here. Let's just say I was doing. I like to add my clocks and watches in my work. So let's just say I had a watch up here, a clock, with numbers, and then if I want to add watch hands. I don't really have too much room down here. But if I want to add watch hands or something like that, then you can add shading. So let's try that. And I usually shade with a little bit of orange on the top. I mean, it's so subtle, you really can't even hardly see it. And then usually a dark blue. Or a slate blue. That's not going to show up. Let's see if this will show up. And then do a shadow on the underside of it so that it looks like it's like filling up space. See how that little bit of shadow and a little bit of highlight makes it look more. Of course, this doesn't look real over here because I just kind of scrubbed that in, but yeah. So if you want to do shadows too, you could add a couple of little streaks with another color too, just to give it a little more oomph. But keep it subtle. The subtleness is what makes it look real. And so if you try to do too much hard lines, you're gonna, Anyway, I hope this helped. Then you can also, with the clouds, take your pencil because it's on acrylic paint, and you can do. It's wet right there. You can do softening. You can do very soft things. Let me find dry here. This is dry. You can add, a wispy clouds. You can add wisps of clouds around the clouds, very wispy like. You can add wind. Let's see, where can I do this? You can add some wind things, and there's all things because it's on acrylic paint. You can go over it with your pencil, right? Here, let's do a little wisps over here. I'm running out of space, but you can do wispy clouds with pencil, very soft. I don't know if this is helpful to anybody, but I just kind of show you, and this is just very, very quick. So you can do all kinds of things like that. And again, you can get in here even more detailed. You can get in here more like give it that little bit of silver lining with a little bit of extra oomph here. So yeah, I hope that helped, guys. Let me back out now here, and I'm going to read that. I'm going to read out of our book real quick before we go. So yeah, so there's some little cloud, rain, wisp kind of thing that you can do. Either you can do it with, I like to do it with my fingers because I can just do, I don't know, I can just kind of feel how it's going down on the paper. I can do it very lightly. I can do it thicker. I can do it thinner. I can drag it, dry brush. I can just do a lot of stuff because I can feel how much pressure. I can feel how much pressure I'm putting down with my finger that I can't really tell with the brush. I can't feel it. It's not the same feel as with my brush. Okay. All right. So now I'm not going to forget. We're going to read out of our 1001 Ways to Be. Let me get a baby wipe. My hands are really dirty. Which we haven't read out of in a couple weeks, I don't think, because I just keep forgetting. And it's 1001 Ways to Be Creative, a little book of everyday inspiration. Barbara and Kip, Kipfer. And I think I got this at Tuesday morning, which, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw, a lot of Tuesday mornings are closing across the country. Mine is one of them. My Tuesday morning is closing. So yeah, my Tuesday morning was one of the ones that are closing. Oh, thank you, Color and Chat with Sammy. Y'all make sure and follow Color and Chat with Sammy. I mean, she's like she's one of the coloring queens. All right, so I marked my place here. So we are up at number 141. I'll probably read 2 pages because we didn't read last week. So write down these ideas as inspiration and make it yours. You don't have to follow it exactly. If something else comes to you, a creative idea, an inspiration, a prompt, and something else comes to your mind while you're listening to this one, write down your idea because your idea is what's going to be your idea. Okay, so number 141, study the life and works of a favorite artist. 142, clear up the small tasks that are distracting you from your project. 143, come up with 10 alternate uses for any object. See, now that's something that I like to do with drawing and sketching and recombining things, in our Society of Idea Collectors. If you haven't looked at any of those, SOIC videos, Society of Idea Collectors, mind mapping, recombining. Well, come up with 10 alternate uses for an object. So take some kind of an object, your lamp. I'm just looking here. I got my microphone, and think of different ways that you could make that to be something else. I mean, just the way my microphone looks, I could put some little antennas on it. It's already got 3 little legs, and it could just walk around and be a little robot. This is what's in my line of vision. Number 144, choreograph a performance piece. Even if you sketch it, draw it, or doodle it, it doesn't mean you have to come up with a whole, theatrical play. 145, solve a Rubik's Cube. If y'all don't follow Nasser, he's stopped in here. He's the horror writer that, the young kid. Well, I say kid. He's 22 or 3. I'm not sure his exact age. But anyway, he on his show every now and then he'll do a show where he's talking and chatting and solving Rubik's Cubes. So go follow Nasser and you'll find him real easy. Just put in Nasser and you'll see his art and comic and horror, talking about books and stuff. He solves Rubik's Cubes on his channel. And sometimes it'll take him, 15, 20 minutes. I think the most I've ever seen him take is an hour. But anyway, solve a Rubik's Cube. 146, experiment safely with the chemistry set. 147, draw happiness. 148, treat yourself to a romantic dinner for one and bring along a sketchbook. I'm going to go ahead and read 2 pages because we missed last week. Oh, here's a quote by Scott Adams, who he's the Dilbert creator, and he also has a Twitter channel. He's very, and I put him as one of my 3 favorites. There was some kind of a little hashtag, call 3 of your favorite Twitter people out. And I called out, and I got tons more, but William Shatner, because he is like a hoot, Scott Adams, and Doug TenNapel. Those were the 3 that those were 3 that come to me. I read them every day or however often. William Shatner doesn't tweet every day, but they're very witty, thought-provoking people. So anyway, here's a quote by Scott Adams. Creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep. Okay, now let's read these following 4. 149, write about yourself at 80. 150, make a list of all the memorable artworks you have seen in your life. 151, carve out a space to do your art and impose some temporary solitude there. 152, illustrate every item on a list with a line drawing. Okay, so that's where we're going to stop until next week. And again, 1001 Ways to Be Creative, a little book of everyday inspiration, Barbara Ann Kipfer. I think I did get this at Tuesday morning. Now I don't have a Tuesday morning. Well, I think it's still open this week, but yeah. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you got some inspiration. Thank you, Tracy. And Tracy, your happy mail went out yesterday. Tracy, and I forgot the other person that I did specifically call out to send them one of the little collages that we made on Monday. Del Lobo, Tracy and Del Lobo. I sent out a whole bunch of other stuff too, but Tracy and Del Lobo each got one of the ones that we made on Monday. So thank you, Pacola, and thank you, my mods, Pacola, Janet, Julie. My mods are awesome. And if you are ever blessed to have Pacola as one of your mods in your channel, you got you a little jewel. Just saying. Not dissing on Janet and Julie, but Pacola is mod at a lot of different people's channels. And you are blessed to have her as a mod if you have her. So. And Eileen too. There's Eileen, but Eileen, I always consider her as our enabler elf. She's one of my mods too, but she's like our enabler elf. I mean, she's a mod, but she's an enabler. Okay, guys, we will see you later. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.